Do you ever feel like you're trapped? Like you wake up and you're like, dude, I'm not living the life I want to live. You wake up, you repeat the same day, go through the same routines, and nothing changes. But yet you strive for something big to change, or you strive for something different, some change. What is stopping you from starting over completely new? Maybe you want to change your appearance. Maybe you want to, dye your hair, or you want to get a piercing, or you want to get a tattoo. You want to change something about it. But you're like, no, that's just not me. That's not me. I don't do that. I'm like this. I'm like this. Structured. I look like this. I act like this. I talk like this. I get shy around groups of people. That's just who I am. And so then every time I'm in that scenario, I must act as who I define myself as. Yet at the end of the day, you sit and you're like, but I want to change. I want something different. I want something new. The call to adventure calls everybody, but it's up to us to respond to the call. What if you started over today? Who's stopping you? Your parents? Your friends? Your relatives? Your family? Are they stopping you? Maybe at some point they taught you how you should live and what you should do and how things should be. And we must respect their opinion and at the same time understand that it's our life. And in a not a simply rebellious way just to rebel, but in a way like this is the gift that we've been given, is our life. And in the Bible, they talk about using your talents and using your gifts in a way. And if we are doing exactly as we were told to do, is that our talent or is that somebody else's? Because we all have different fingerprints and we are all unique. And to be the same person, to copy the same person and paste them across the world, it just won't. That's not what the world needs. We need unique individuals as like a holistic approach. Like we are all connected, yet we are unique and different. Like a body. Like again in the Bible, the body of Christ is different parts of a body. You can't function as a unit without your eyes and your hands and your legs and your small intestine type stuff. So like again, who is stopping you from being new, from starting over? At the end of the day, it's you. You are stopping yourself from living the life you want. When you get jealous of other people, this person on social media, they're living their life to the fullest. And first of all, social media is not an entire person's life. So it's unfair to compare on social media. But second of all, what's stopping you from doing the exact same thing? Maybe it's money, maybe it's the looks or whatever, but it's like, okay, sure, let's take looks for example. Like you might not look the best, but if you identify with like, oh, I'm somebody who just doesn't look that good, like I will never look good, that's just who I am, I'm ugly, I'm not, pretty, or I'm not beautiful, that's just how I am. If you identify with that, guess what your actions will be like? When it's time to wake up and you can choose to wash your face or not wash your face, brush your teeth or not brush your teeth. I'm ugly, I'm not beautiful, I'm not pretty. If you tell yourself those things, guess which action you'll take in that moment? Okay, I don't need to wash my face, I'm already ugly. And then you continue on. Maybe it comes breakfast. Okay, I can get a donut and a coffee with sugar in it. Or you know what? Maybe I'll eat like oatmeal or whatever. Oh, I'm ugly, I'm unhealthy, whatever. Your choices, the way you perceive yourself is how you will act. And if you hold yourself in a certain light, with a certain identity, with certain ways that you are supposed to be, then your actions will follow exactly as planned. It's like a program. It's literally like a computer program. It's written to act exactly how it's internally programmed. If you're programmed, I use this example a lot, but if you're programmed to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, and those are the only careers that are valuable because they make a lot of money, then you will live your life believing that, and you will rank other people in your head like these people are less than these people, or these people are better than these people. And you yourself will take actions so you can be in a certain group. But again, we're all connected and we cannot all be the same thing. Literally, we would not function as a society if we were all chefs. Who is going to harvest the food we eat? So again, how will you identify with your new self? Because that's where the money is. Like, imagine a program, let's say unhealthy. Let's say that program has ran in your head over and over. I'm unhealthy. Oh, I can eat a burger and fries, every other day because I'm just unhealthy as an individual. Like, it doesn't change the way I am. But guess what? When you have told yourself that over and over and over again, it's not simply enough to just be aware of it. You gotta re-identify, you gotta build a new self. But we'll get there in a second. Because to build a new self, we have to destroy an old self. And if you think about it, if your plate is full of food, sure, you can put more food on it, but there's only so much your plate can hold. First, you gotta discard the unhealthy food that you're mentally feeding yourself, and then you have an empty plate that's ready to serve some delicious food. What I'm trying to say is, be aware of your past way of thinking, i.e., an example, meditate. Sit in silence, sit in your own thoughts, sit and just observe. Are you the one that's unhealthy? When you say I'm unhealthy, is that really you? Or are you the one that is hearing yourself say I'm unhealthy? Are you the one observing yourself being like, oh, somebody is saying I'm unhealthy, but I'm the one that's seeing that thought, which is interesting because if you're the one seeing that thought, then who is the unhealthy one? And this is where it gets a little weird because at that point, we're in some different territory. But what I'm trying to get at is you first can be aware of those thoughts and unidentify with them and make space away from that identity. And once you have space, you will have availability to put new identity down, plant new seeds. And a very practical way to do this is literally sit for 15 minutes and meditate. And like, what I mean is sit for 15 minutes and just observe every time a thought comes up. Every time a thought says, like, oh, I should be doing this, I need to be doing that. oh, I'm worried about this in the future, I'm worried about this in the past. Or if a thought is telling you, I need to focus on meditating, that's still a thought. You're not the one. You can have intention to be like, okay, I'm going to sit here and meditate or observe my thoughts. But you don't have to resist and push and force yourself, be like, I should be meditating. I need to focus, refocus. It's a chill, effortless, just observing. You're just observing. You're not frustrated if you can't get it. It's just, you look at the thoughts. You might have a thought that's frustrated. You might have a thought that's telling you to focus, but you don't have to even listen to them. You just observe them. And then after that, when you have that space, you can just tell yourself, you can reaffirm to yourself whatever you want. That's the beginning to start becoming new. Because to be a new person, that's the very foundation of where it's at. You can act first. You can do all the actions first. If you want to be healthy, for example, you can eat healthy. But if you don't identify with being healthy, there will be a point that just comes up and you will be faced with the decision, and based on your identity is how you will act. I just got off my 9 to 5. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and I have one more day until my final day of work because I quit my job. I don't want to work in an office. I've saved up a lot of money. I have had a lot of money saved up, and I have saved up more money with this job. Next week, I will be in Japan. I've been told all my life I need to go to school, I need to go to college, I need to go get a nice paid job as something like an engineer and work in the office, do something that pays well. I need to get a house, get a wife, raise a family. And while I do want a lot of that stuff, at the same time, I'm stuck waking up and thinking, what am I doing? Like, why am I waking up and working towards something that drains me of energy, that makes me depressed, that I just know my talents are not in that area. I know I'm not meant to sit in an office and either observe data or input data or whatever. And maybe that is somebody else's purpose genuinely, but as myself and what I've consumed on the internet, which has shown a lot of doors, and it's like, why can't I do that? And when I think about that question, why can't I do blank? At the end of the day, who is stopping you from doing whatever you want? And I don't mean in a hedonistic way, like live a life of pleasure. I mean, in terms of your purpose and your dreams, at the end of the day, who is stopping you? Why can't you say, why can't I blank? Why can't I do blank? Who is stopping you from achieving that or from pursuing that blank? I don't know how I'm going to make money right now. I don't know how I have enough money to support myself for a certain amount of time, and I always have a place to go to. But I'm not sweating the details anymore. I've tried the past 2 years kind of to chase my dreams on YouTube here. My dream is related to YouTube. I can't describe exactly what, but it's unfolding as time goes on. And I know my purpose right now is to trust and be like, okay, my purpose is on YouTube. I need to make content because that's related to my purpose. I enjoy speaking my mind, and I enjoy putting this type of content out there, stuff related around the mind and mental health and spirituality, philosophy. And the past 2 years, I've had a large safety net to catch me anytime I got too scared. Anytime there was enough fear where I'm like, okay, but what? I can't pay rent, so I'm going to live with my parents. And that's a whole nother topic. I actually think it's productive to live with your parents as long as, like, in your 20s, I'll just say. But at the same time, that safety net of living with my parents and having a lot of my expenses paid for, there's nothing pushing me to grow. I'm not in an environment that's pushing me to grow and to grow. And so I moved away from my parents. I live with my aunt and uncle. It's like adjacent to that, but still kind of different. And I moved here and I got a job because I thought that was my purpose. And in the job and in this environment, it would push me to grow in a direction. And guess what? It squeezed me to quit the job and to go focus more onto YouTube. I've posted the most videos I've had in the past 2 months. I posted the most videos I've ever posted in the past 2 months than I had in the last couple years. I mean, I did a lot of live streams. That's a whole nother topic. My point is, fear was ruling me. Fear made me want to get a job, and I genuinely thought that was my purpose, but in retrospect, I was too scared to. I think it was a combination. I was too scared and ashamed of trying to be a YouTuber in a family of mostly Asian people, and combined with a purpose of getting a job. Like in that moment, it did feel right. And right now, quitting feels the same way. There's a mix of fear, sort of, more like, yeah, there's a mix of fear, but this is a fear that I feel like I'm called to face. It's a fear of okay, what is the money I'm gonna make? I'm gonna face new routines and I'm gonna have to actually pursue my purpose with a sincere intent. I will sincerely pursue my purpose in an environment that is constantly changing and allowing me to grow. And that is come to a point where I'm going to Japan. I booked a one-way ticket. I'm from the US, so I can only stay there for 3 months max. I'm trying to set things up to stay there at least 2 months right now, and we'll see how things go. I have an interview in about an hour with somebody to see if I can basically stay in Japan longer for cheaper. And while I'm there, I'm going to just explore my mental, explore the place, the culture, create content. It'll spark new ideas and thoughts, be involved in a foreign culture and community, and expand my worldview. And it's stuff that's beyond my parents' basement. And it's because I've saved money and I can do this, that I'm going to take the opportunity and not simply live in fear and wait until I run out of money, or wait until fear drives me to do something else. And so I leave you with this. What's stopping you from starting over, from starting a new life? What's stopping you?